Well, here on Broad Radio, one of our key goals is to amplify voices that aren't heard enough. And that, of course, includes people with disabilities, because disabled people are a starkly underrepresented part of our community in the media and pretty much everywhere else as well. So we're very happy to welcome our next guest. Carly Findlay is a writer and appearance activist, and she's written, or edited, I should say, a brand new book called Growing Up Disabled in Australia. Hey there, Carly.
Hello, how are you?
Congratulations on this book. I really loved reading it. It's got so many diverse writers, very different styles, very different experiences. And I understand that it is the first of its kind in Australia, this book, which that then makes me think, okay, it's really critical that we hear stories and read stories that represent our own experiences. And that then means that you and other people with disabilities have not read stories that really reflect your lives. What is that like?
Yeah, I mean, when I grew up, I didn't see anybody that looked like me. I have a rare skin condition, a rare severe skin condition called ichthyosis, and the representation of disability when I grew up was either Paralympians or people on a current affair supposedly rotting the system. So my view of disability was quite narrow. And so it's really important to read these stories. It is the first of its kind in Australia, yes, but there has been so much writing and, art made by disabled people before this book. I mentioned in the foreword that Stella Young edited Ramp Up on the ABC. Stella was a comedian, writer, activist who just changed, I think, the way the Australian media landscape saw disability, and that was defunded in 2014.
Carly, you had over 360 submissions for Growing Up Disabled in Australia. And you mentioned in the foreword that you chose a diverse range of voices and stories and experiences. But what was that process really like for you to choose those submissions?
Oh, it was pretty hard. There's a lot of reading to do. So we put out a call in December 2018, and there was around a 6-month period for submissions. And so we got 366, I think. And where there were gaps in stories, in diversity, I approached people or saw things that were published before and wanted to republish. So we didn't have a Paralympian, and so I contacted Paralympics Australia, and I also knew someone whose daughter was a Paralympian, so that was Isis Holt, and I sent her questions to be interviewed, and she was great. She got them back in 2 hours or something, which was amazing. And I also interviewed I interviewed Jane Rosengrave, who wasn't able to write her own story. Jane is a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, and she lived in institutions all through her early life. And so we sat down and talked. So my approach was really intersectional, because we only really see in the media, I feel, white disabled people. And I wanted to ensure that the balance was swayed to more diverse. So we've got Aboriginal people, we've got people of colour, we've got Muslim people, Jewish people, young people who are still growing up like Isis and Lucy Carpenter, and people who are elders as well, like Yvonne Fine, Kath Duncan, Gail Kennedy, who's an amazing Aboriginal woman that wrote about being in hospital with polio as a child. And also we've got people from all states of Australia, maybe not Tasmania. Sorry, Tasmania, that wasn't intentional.
Poor old Tasmania.
I know.
Carly, a lot of the stories reference the writers themselves as young people. And you yourself in your foreword, you say that this is the book you wish you had when you were younger. Have you been contacted by young people who are grateful that the book is there, or that they've been impacted by what you're creating? Have you had young people reach out to you?
Yeah, because I'm in Melbourne and we just had a lockdown for 5 days. Yes. One of the events was cancelled that we were due to have. We were due to have a little book launch with just the contributors and their family. But the day before that, we were really lucky to go to Geelong and do our first event, our first live event. And there was a young person, or there were a few young people in the audience, but there was a young person who stood up and said, you know, it's because of this book I know that my life after high school will be okay. So that was pretty great. And then she left a really lovely review on Goodreads, and I've had people like tweet and say, thank you so much for this. You know, I feel seen. Yeah, I mean, we've had some amazing reviews and amazing responses to the book. It's, you know, it's only been out for 4 weeks and it's gone to reprint, which is incredible. The demand for it is huge. There is a lot of swearing in it though, but it will be in school. It will be in schools. So maybe because there's a lot of swearing in it, people might want to read it, you know, in a school library sneakily.
I think school children probably know more swear words than we know.
But Carly, the other thing I'm familiar with because I follow you on Twitter is that you have done a thing that I have wanted to do but haven't because I just am scared to. You bought roller skates, right? Now, every time I am in a shop, a skate shop or whatever with my daughter, and those roller skates are so pretty. Like they're rainbow coloured, or they're, you know, unicorns, or they're so... And I imagine myself like in a roller derby team with the cool costume and all that, but I can't roller skate to save myself. And what you have done is that you actually bought the roller skates and are learning to roller skate without fear of judgment, which I just love.
There's a lot of fear of falling. There's no fear of judgment. There's a lot of fear of falling. So in lockdown last year, I kept on seeing these Instagram videos pop up. I was influenced by Instagram influencers. I kept on seeing these Instagram videos of roller skating. I'm like, I used to roller skate when I was in year 7. So that was very, you know, 27, 28 years ago. I thought, yeah, I could do that again. And so do you remember I put out a tweet one Friday night? I'm like, I think I might just buy some roller skates. And then I was like looking on Facebook Marketplace. Also during lockdown, like my sleeping habits just went out the window. And so I was like shopping at all hours of the night because I just couldn't sleep. And I bought multiples of different things like books. I've got like multiples of different books because I didn't know. I ordered them the night before when I couldn't sleep. Anyway, so I bought these roller skates. I found them on Facebook Marketplace. I thought I don't want to spend a lot because I might hate it, you know. So I bought them for $60. They were nearly new. They were great. They came from Tasmania. And then I've had them for 5 months since October. October. And then, I've been skating nearly every weekend since, and it's really hard. It's not like it was when I was 12. And, you know, I'm bigger now and I'm taller and I weigh more and I'm really scared of falling. But it's fun. I haven't really fallen much. I mean, you know, at first I did, but I'm not scared much anymore. We go skating with, been meeting heaps of friends, and noticing that my friends got into it as well.
I am nearly 50, so you know, I don't know if that's too old to take up a new skill. But
no, not at all. Well, my friends are like in their 40s and 50s, so do it. It's great.
So, Carly, the book is Growing Up Disabled in Australia, and of course your book, Say Hello, is still available as well. And we really encourage people to pick up both of those books and explore this experience of Australians that you may not have really understood or really made the effort to really kind of connect with. Thanks so much, Carly Findlay. You take care and go out and buy the book.
Yeah, do please. It's great. Make it go to the 3rd reprint. It's gone to the 2nd reprint now. So make it go to the 3rd.
Thanks,
Thank you
Carly.
so much. It was lovely to talk to you, Ray.
You too. Take care, Carly.
Pleasure as always.
Thank you. Bye.